The starting point is a question. Did you know the V.E. Petrucci Library has over 17 times as many resources as there are acres in the Fresno State vineyards? Books, proceedings, pamphlets, research updates, and journals.
Just really staying up to date and current on what's out there is really, it plays a part more on the theoretical side. And then we do have the opportunity to come back to the winery and say, hey, John, no, this is what is happening in the industry right now. Are you seeing that? Have you experienced that?
That's where it starts, especially if you want to be innovative and creative. You know, the library is a perfect complement to what we are learning hands-on.
This is a very dynamic industry. Everything is always changing, it's becoming far more scientific, and so I think once we do leave, it is really important for us as winemakers to keep our knowledge at its highest point.
25 years ago, you could go to some basic building blocks and learn what you needed to know to be in the industry. Now information is everywhere. But how do you get the right information? And how do you learn how to get the right information? I mean, it's a little bit of a learn to learn thing. I think in the past, you were taught and you applied. Now I think sometimes you're taught how to get information that you can teach yourself to apply.
Why do the resources in the V.E. Petrucci Library matter? The Viticulture and Enology programs at Fresno State were founded in 1948 by Vincent E. Petrucci. The oldest resource in the Petrucci Library was published in 1864. The newest resource was published now. The history and the future of our industry can be found on these shelves.
Yeah, you know, my recollection of libraries is, I'm old enough that used to be where you went to find information. And you went there because it was quiet and you could study, right? I think it's changed entirely. I mean, a library, to some extent now, I don't even think of it as a physical place all the time. But the concept is still really valid. It's where you should be able to go to get information. And hopefully, given the explosion of information availability, it's where you can go to get, you know, to learn how to hone down the information to what's relevant.
A lot of the work we do has to be integrated into our classes, such as, you know, mechanized viticulture research integrated into the mechanized viticulture class. So they have to search literature, find peer-reviewed articles to follow lectures and labs, write about them in the end. So without the library or librarian, this work is not possible to do. The library serves a function where they can, you know, since information is already available, they're able to synthesize this information to prepare a report or review a proposal or a bid to make more sense of it. That's you know, how the library is able to, like, you know, prepare them for the future.
The amount of information that's available to the people much smarter than I about the technical sides of making wine, growing grapes. The data is all over the place. How do you get the meaningful data in front of you to make those decisions, to come up with new ways to do things? I think grabbing pertinent information that can be used, and understanding how to use that to improve things, those are the people that are going to lead the industry.
And I've been working, you know, at the winery here for close to 10 years. And we're looking at, you know, expanding and developing our employee base and our staff. Now the question comes back, and I'm looking at it, well, I have to maybe go back and look at the procedures that I maybe don't know so much about, or that I am able to research so I can build my procedure base up. So again, it's beneficial in numerous ways, and I think people that are out of the industry don't take enough advantage of having the resources at the library to really kind of build their programs up.
Where does support for the V.E. Petrucci Library come from? 98% of V.E. Petrucci Library funding comes from the Viticulture and Enology Alumni Association. The VEAA is a member organization for graduates and friends of the Department of Viticulture and Enology.
You know, as alumni, I think we're all have a level of obligation to really support our library, if it's financially, if it's through some level of support. I think there's a great need for improvements at all levels, and obviously all that costs money. So it's a challenge for our alumni to really pull their resources together to really support what Fresno State is doing.
I've always visualized the library as the hub of the whole department. It is the glue that holds everything together.
Of VEAA support for the library, 50% comes from the V.E. Petrucci Library Fund Endowment. The other 50% is a direct contribution from the Alumni Association. What's the goal? Working in partnership, the VEAA, the V.E. Petrucci Library, and the Department of Viticulture and Enology want to fill the V.E. Petrucci Library Fund Endowment to $3 million. We have $2 million to go. This will provide a robust library for generations to come.
Through the library, which I think is an important component of the education program, we're working with students to develop information literacy. I think information is being generated so rapidly now in our industry that it's becoming critical that our students understand how to identify needs with regard to information, how to use that information so that it can be of value to the industry. It's making sure that our students, when they leave our program, learn how to learn.
So now we have a question for you. What will you do to support your library, your association, your department? What will the future of our industry look like? What will the future leaders of our industry need to be prepared for this future? Help us shape this future and our future with your investment.